Welcome back. We are on question 8 of the November 2012 Namibian Senior Secondary Certificate, Paper 1, Higher Level Mathematics. So question 8, over here we have a Cartesian plane with two straight lines drawn on it. This equation is y equals 3x plus 6. This equals y equals mx plus c. So the m and the c are unknown at the moment. Question A, the line y equals mx plus c is parallel to the line y equals 3x plus 6. And the distance between A and B is 6 units. So this distance here is 6 units. Now find the value of m and the value of c. Okay, so we can see it counts 4 marks, so it's obviously expected we need to do a little bit of work to find the answers. Now, we can see we've both got both forms as y equals and y equals. And if they're parallel, so if lines are parallel, that means, oh, that's too ugly. So I'm just going to write parallel like that. If lines are parallel, what does that mean? That means the gradient of the one line is equal, is exactly the same as the gradient of the other line. Well, what does this m mean? If we have an equation y equals mx plus c, that's the gradient, right? So the m is equal to the m of the other one. So we've got y equals mx plus c and we've got y equals 3x plus 6. So these two values must be equal. Therefore, we can say m equals 3. Okay, that's one part done. Now we know this distance is 6. So how will we find the value of c just by knowing this distance is 6? This is where a bit more work comes in. Right, so we already know this is y equals 3x plus 6. I'm just going to write that down. Y equals 3x plus c, sorry, not 6. So to find the c value, we need to substitute some point into this equation to solve for c. So I think we want to find the coordinates of b, and once we have that, we can substitute point b into this equation to find c. Because how do we get b? Well, we know b is 6 from a, so first we need to find a. How do we find the coordinates of a? Well, what we know about a is the y value is 0 because it's on the x-axis. So for a, we already know y equals 0. And so we can substitute it into this equation to find the x value where that's true. So we can say this equation is y equals 3x plus 6, and then just make y 0. So 0 equals 3x plus 6. Take the 6 over, negative 6 equals 3x, and divide by 3, so we get negative 2 equals x. So that means the coordinates for a are negative 2 and 0. Now for b is also on the x-axis, so the y values don't change. So all we need to do is move 6 to the right. So negative 2 plus 6 will give us 4. So we know the coordinates for b is 4, 0. So then what we can do is we can substitute this point into that equation. Okay, so for that equation, in y equals 3x plus c, we substitute this point b, which is the y value is 0 in b and the x value is 4. And then we just solve for c. So we have 0 equals 12 plus c. Take over the 12, so we get negative 12 equals c. Great, there we have it. C and m both solved. Okay, let's just write down this equation now. This equation now will be y equals 3x plus c, so plus negative 12, so y equals 3x minus 12. That's the equation of this line. Then we get to question B. Write down two inequalities which define the region between the two given parallel lines. So what inequalities will define this area, this region? Okay, so what they mean by two inequalities which define the region is we give two inequalities and those two together will give us this region. So I think it could have been worded a little bit differently, but this is fine. So we know this region is below this line and it's above this line. So below and above has to do with y values, right? Y values are the up and down values. So let's say, since y is already by itself, that'll be the easy one to work with. So we can say all the y values must be below this line. So y must be less than or equal to, depending on what they want, but it defines the region between. So if it's exactly between, we probably don't want to put the equal sign. We just want less than that line, greater than this line. So y must be less than 3x plus 6, and y must be above, which is greater than 3x minus 12. And that's it. It would have been completely fine if you said that y is between 3x minus 12 and 3x plus 6. That would also be completely fine. Great, and I think that's it for this video. That was question 8. Yeah. Then I'll see you again shortly for question 9.